We're here with the FX2 Regional Photography Show at the Allegheny Highlands Arts and Crafts Center. Our judge is Dan Henderson of Blue Ridge, Virginia, and he's made his selection, so we're ready to take a look at the exhibit.
So the first category we're going to look at here is show or stop motion. And this particular image here I chose as first place in this particular category for a couple of reasons. First of all, it stops motion, but it does it really, really subtly. The only way that you can tell there is motion here is by the railing being blurred. But other than that, the race car itself is just absolutely tack sharp. So I think the photographer really did a great job of nailing the focus and the sharpness of the race car, and yet letting a little motion occur. So I really appreciate that one a lot. One that I like best in the macro and still life category. Macros can be really difficult to do, especially with moving subjects. It may have been a quiet morning or evening, probably morning with some of the dew that are on these little things of the plants here. But another thing that's difficult about macro is getting what you want in focus, and the photographer, I think, did a great job of capturing this bee doing what bees do, pollinating flowers and taking pollen around to different ones and helping make honey for the hives. So I think the photographer did a great job of capturing the bee, and then the rest of the image starts to get a little bit soft. You know, some of the dewdrops are bright there, but I appreciate that. And then they're really soft here, so it really focuses attention on the subject. Wonderful use of color, and it's a nicely organized still life. And to me, that represents the Mexican heritage really well. The bright colors, not only the sombreros, but most especially the bright colors. So I really appreciate that one, and chose that one for number 2. And then for in this image, kind of almost abstracted it a little bit, because one wonders when you walk up to it, is this a photograph or is this a painting? Because it has a slightly, I said I was not going to use the word painterly, but I'm going to use the word painterly. It has a slightly painterly effect, and I think it really suits this particular subject really, really well. So this is my selection for number 1 in the abstraction or minimalism category. And I chose this one simply because when I walked up and looked at it, I wondered what it is. I don't really understand it. It looks like there might be some ceiling lights going on here, maybe some tenting or something like that. But the cool thing is I don't know for sure. So to me, this is a clear winner as number 1 in the abstraction category. Yeah, number 2 is this abstraction of probably late afternoon sun on a body of water with some gently rippling waves. I can figure out what this one is, but I still really enjoy the abstraction that's created by all of the golden lines that the sun is etching in the waves here. So I think that one succeeds really well as an abstraction. I really enjoy this photograph here. Again, like the one that won in the abstraction category, this one is really an abstraction, and I have no idea what's going on here, but I love it. It's just really an interesting, to me, some of these lines almost look a little floral, like a rose or something like that. It's just got a lot going for it, and I really enjoy this one a lot. For number 2, I believe it was this one here. This one, the photographer did a great job of emulating a photograph from the Civil War, maybe slightly post-Civil War. It's got the sepia tone to it, and they did some vignetting around here like was pretty popular in those days. So I think they did a really good job of presenting an interesting landscape in a very interesting way. So I really enjoy that one. This is obviously a portrait of 3 young women, perhaps sisters. and would have done really well in the portrait category. I think it does really well in the black and white or tone category as well. One of the things that I've always enjoyed about black and white photography is that when you take the color away from it, it sort of abstracts things a little bit, but it also takes away if one of the ladies had a bright colored sweater on or something like that, your eye might be attracted to that bright color, where without the color, then our eyes are attracted to their eyes, for example. There's some nice catch lights going on in their beautiful smiles, and just everything about it. It's a very intimate portrait, and I think being in black and white makes it even a more intimate portrait. So I really enjoy that one a lot. Category is landscapes. A lot of us photographers like to photograph landscapes all around us at all times. I chose fog fishing as number one. I think number one, fog is one of my favorite things to photograph in, and I know that it can be a little bit difficult to get the tonality of the fog just right, and I think the photographer did a great job of it here. We can see some things way back in the background, just barely, and then as things get a little bit closer, they're a little brighter, and I really appreciate how they caught the person rowing their fishing boat out into the lake. So they, not only is it a landscape, it adds the human element to it, which I enjoy a lot too. So that was number one. Number two was could almost pass for a macro shot, but I think they did a really great job of capturing the essence of this particular kind of cactus plant. Some of the flowers in the foreground here, and then the repeating patterns of all the leaves going back here, and then that's even repeated with the little thorns that are on there. So I think they did a great job. Most of the time we think of landscapes as like the grand landscapes like Ansel Adams did, like a couple of these over here, but just as easily a landscape can be a very intimate little close-up as well. And then for number three, I chose this one here. I think the photographer did a great job of capturing the fall colors. I really enjoy the blueness of the road right here. Makes a really nice counterpoint to the natural colors of the surrounding forest and the leaves and that sort of thing. So that was my number three choice.